Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the final assessment of podcast about evil. I'm Jean.
I'm Victoria.
Today, season 3, episode 5, The Angel of Warning.
Everything's been demons up until now.
Well, but we got an angel this time. I like this opening scene. It's kind of it's a school gymnasium, and you see kind of first responders kind of swarming in and setting up. And,
It made me think of 911.
yeah, it's kind of cool. And we get David coming in. And everybody thinks he's a cop, and everybody's like, "You got to put on a collar because people are gonna think you're a."
They're gonna think you're a cop.
Yeah. So what has happened? The building has collapsed. And they're not finding any survivors, but David finds one.
Yep.
This woman, she's kind of dazed. And she tells this story. Her name is Kelly Bennington. And she kind of explains, I was in the kitchen, and all of a sudden just everything started falling. But there's this woman. Kelly lives on the 11th floor.
Yes.
But there's a woman, and she shows her out of the building, leads her out.
Takes her arm and leads her out.
And she's like, I don't even understand how she knew where she was going because
How could she see?
How could she see? Everything was falling. And he also finds another gentleman who was on the 6th floor. Same story. This woman, she was in the hallway and she showed him the way out, how to get out. And they're like, okay. Comes up, they go to Monsignor the next day. There's 3 people that saw this lady. And they're like, I think this is probably something we should look into. Monsignor's like, aha, this is Sister Mary Grimandi. She's a Sicilian nun. They've been trying to canonize her for years, apparently. They need a second miracle. This could be that second miracle. So they're like, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out if this is Sister Grimandi. In the meantime, he takes David aside. He's like, look, I understand Sister Andrea's hearing's coming up. Basically, he's like, don't embarrass us because the diocese has plans for you. Okay, I'm going to do what I got to do to get my girls back.
We're going to get my girls back.
What are you talking about? They got plans for me. That sounds ominous.
It does sound very ominous.
It does. We have a moment here. We have to have a little time at Andrew's hearing where Kurt said, this is a funny description of a nun. So she's above average of intelligence, which you could see by the way she interacts with people. She has oppositional defiant disorder. I'm like, this woman... Are you familiar with how nuns live? It seems a profession poorly suited for a person with oppositional defiant disorder. But she talks back to guys, which basically is Kurt's biggest problem. Oppositional defiant disorder, especially when it comes to men. I'm like, again, we've seen no indication that Kurt is particularly sexist, so we're not even talking about somebody that doesn't like women or whatever, but we're talking about ingrained attitudes.
Yeah.
Which is particularly with men or just with men? Because does she do this with women? Is it perhaps because she has to eat a bunch of shit with these priests that are all fucking morons while she scrubs their floors? And they call her crazy?
Yeah.
That would make me defiant.
Yeah.
But anyway, so David is going to grill Kurt about this. He's going to use what he knows about Kurt seeing a demon.
Yes.
Andrea pulls him back. She's like, no, because this is not how we're going to win.
Yeah, she wants a clean defense.
Yeah, I'm like, but this is, but my thing was like, okay, I think she's trying to do the right thing. They're trying to show her doing the right thing, but I'm like, how is this not a clean defense? This is legitimate.
He saw the same thing.
If you're trying to prove that you're not crazy, saying other people who are not crazy have seen this.
Yeah.
And ultimately that ends up being the defense, is that other people that aren't crazy have seen this.
Yep.
But they don't do that. So he's like, okay, girl, I will do what you say. Okay, Cheryl is back at her job trying to pump up Macabre. Leland is not happy that Taylor is gone and that Cheryl has hired her own assistant who is not taking any of Leland's shit.
And is helping Cheryl out a great deal.
She is. She's a good one. Macabre is up to $45.
Yep.
And Leland's talking about, I'm your boss. And Cheryl's like, actually, no, the manager is my boss. The manager. So Leland stomps off. He's going to go to the manager. Cheryl is going to follow. And as she's going, her new assistant's like, gets in her path. Cheryl's like, what? She's like, under your top button. This, I do not think will be as important as it should be, but...
And we'll see why.
We'll see why. She gets to the manager's office. The assistant is a real prick here. the manager's assistant. He's like, he's not available till August. Goodbye. Who are you?
Yeah.
Because Cheryl gets her tits in his face, and he's just like, whatever. I do not care about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we leave Cheryl, trying to figure out how to get into the manager's office. Meantime, our trio is talking with Kelly Bennington about this lady. And they talk to this other guy who had seen the lady. And their proposition, they say, well, you had been outside earlier that day. You'd been on the street. Did you see the lunch truck that was parked nearby? Did you see what the special was? It was lamb, right? And he's like, are you saying that I saw the lunch special, and later that day when the building was collapsing, I imagined a woman carrying a lamb out because I had seen the lunch special? Is that what you're trying to say?
Like, y'all are crazy.
I like it because it does really bring home the point of how ridiculous some of these alternate explanations that both Kristen and Ben come up with.
Yes.
Like, that's not how brains work.
It was kind of funny, though.
So anyway, we get a third survivor, though. Now, this woman's a little different. She says she was staying with a friend. She doesn't live in the building. She's staying with a friend that lives in the building. And she got a phone call. Said, get out now. And then something in a foreign language. Sicilian? Maybe. We don't know. Or not Sicilian, Italian. And Kristen calls this impending doom syndrome, which is something that they had talked about in the first season with there was also a building collapse there. But it was the idea that your subconscious is picking up clues that your conscious mind is not picking up, like a creaking that doesn't belong there, a strange tilt to the foundation or something.
Yeah. And
your subconscious is putting it all together, and when it clicks in your subconscious, instead of feeding your brain, your consciousness, all that information, it just says, get out, do something,
Yes.
So they had already talked about this in another episode in a very similar situation. Kristen, though she knows what this thing is, when she goes home that night, she thinks she hears somebody say, whispering, watch out. So now she's going to go OCD all over the house.
All over.
Final destination, tape everything up, like nothing can move, nothing can catch on fire accidentally,
And sleeping with the
hiking axe, the pickaxe, or whatever it's called. David gets home. He gets another air vulva. This one is very clearly a vulva. And a woman with a lamb comes out and tells him to run. Run where?
Well, actually, doesn't she come out with the lamb and she looks at him and screams?
She screams, yeah.
Yeah, and then she screams, run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe.
Run away from the vagina.
Yeah, that's what she's trying to tell him, is to run away from the vagina so he's not tempted.
Okay, the girls, in the meantime, are freaked out about the house. We know that Cheryl's job is to doom scroll. She has instructed, previously, she instructed basically her whole team, like, start putting information out there about this building collapse, about, like, things in the earth or whatever, and like there's hollow just like shit that is not accurate at all, but that start being concerned about things. And the girls have been scrolling social media, so they've seen all this information going around, and they are now freaked out about the house could collapse.
Yes.
The train could fall on the house.
Yes.
So that will come up later too, the girls being freaked out by this. But Cheryl's there, and Kristen is kind of sharing concerns with her about this voice she heard to, like, get out or watch out. And Cheryl said this is apparently something that Kristen went through when Cheryl and Kristen's father were divorcing. She heard a voice telling her, and she's like, maybe it's about Andy, but you're better off without him.
Yeah.
I don't have an argument for that.
I don't either. No argument. Totally believe Cheryl. Like, totally on Cheryl's side there.
I think I understand what they were trying to do with the Andy character, but man,
they could have done all of this without him, really. I mean, she's a great single mother. That's what she is. She's a single mother.
When we ultimately see what's going on with Andy and how it ends up playing out, I become even more convinced that a completely unnecessary character.
It was.
Anyway, so we're back at Andrea's hearing. Everybody admits there is nothing blasphemous about seeing a demon, but they insist that the problem with Andrea's claim is if they saw again, we're back to the cardinal with the demon, and it's theological hubris.
Yes.
To say that she saw this. This is silliness. This is crazy talk. But so David comes with, well, like, would, if somebody said that they had a vision of Jesus at their father's, walking around at the father's lake house or whatever, would that be theological hubris? This is where we find out that Father Rodrigo had a vision of Jesus walking around the lake at his during his childhood.
Yes.
Summertime. Is that hubris? Is that theological hubris? Well, I guess not, because he's not talking to the cardinal. I mean, like, what? That is the fact that it's talking to the cardinal. And I see no explanation for this.
Yeah.
But anyway, they got more interviews about the lamb lady.
And here's the thing. Like, she saw the demon talking to the cardinal. Why don't you pull the cardinal in and ask?
Because the cardinal will just say no. Obviously I wasn't talking to a demon.
Bullshit.
Okay, so anyway, they're doing more interviews about the lamb lady. So there was one survivor who happens to also be a sketch artist, but she describes her as black.
Yes.
The woman that describes her as black is black. They will make an issue about the fact that the woman is black.
Yeah,
this will become an issue for David.
Yes, and it becomes an issue for me.
It becomes an issue in general. So she says this. They're like, it's not Mary Grimandi or Mary Grimandi because Mary Grimandi was not black. So they're taking this info back to the Monsignor about, well, this woman saw a black angel.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, not miscommunications, but people kind of saying things in a weird way, and you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but then you've seen the way they act in the past and you don't know if they deserve it, because the Monsignor's basically saying, like, well, if nobody else said it was a black angel, and it would be noteworthy if it was a black angel, which is a wild thing to say,
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just like, if it was a black angel, it would be a political statement. So they're normalizing white angels.
Yes.
It's a problem that David will, I think, put a very fine point on later with Sister Andrea.
Yes.
And he's talking about with Ben and Kristen, David is explaining, like, a lot of the medieval iconography we see. It's always white people. Well, who made all that stuff? It was mostly, white people that made all that stuff. So obviously the people in power want God to look like them. That's what Ben says. Like, obviously, they'll never say that. But that's what
they want, yeah.
And, for example, David uses the example of Augustine's mother, who was black. And David's like, she would have been, like, as dark as me. Like, it would not have been ambiguous at all that this was a black woman. But look here, this is how she actually looked. And then they have, this other painting of her from the, medieval Europe, and she's white.
Yeah.
Which is not true.
Nope.
And, that's the point he's making. So they decide, like, all right, fine. Let's call the other survivors and see if anybody else saw
a black
woman. In the meantime, Cheryl is trying to get in to see the manager again. She bribes her way in by loading down his assistant with some macabre.
Yep.
And she gets in there. She steps in. She kind of starts her spiel before she even sees him. She's just like, I work in the cryptocurrency with the Charles and IT. And all of a sudden, she's like, oh, what's this? Something smells terrible. Like she's gay.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I'm responsible. She's trying to gag it. I'm responsible for this, not Leland. And she comes around the corner, and there's a fucking goat, a demon goat on the elliptical.
With, like, 4 screens in front of him of different, like, news going.
She seems taken aback.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, again, this is where, like, can we... this not, as much as I love Cheryl, we're not making any sense here. She's dated demons before. Does she know what's happening? Because she acts like this is like, what the fuck is this? What is this thing? I'm like, you literally ate a demon with Leland in the first season, right? Why does she not understand what she's seeing here? This is a person, like, she's well versed in all this stuff we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Why does she need to be hypnotized into slapping people? Why is she shocked that there's a demon here? I don't understand it. She has demons watching over her while she listens to Jim Croce. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think she expected the manager to be such a demon.
Such a demon. So she's like, okay. She comes out like later, we kind of fade out, and she's coming out of the manager's office, and everybody's acting really casual. Like, nobody's acting like there's a problem. His assistant, like, oh, he's a racquetball guy. Or not his assistant, the office manager's like, oh, the manager's a racquetball guy. And she's like, what does he look like to you? And he's like, well, some people say Liam Neeson, but I think he looks like the guy from The Good Place. And she's like, Ted Danson?
Yeah.
Like, the guy from The Good Place? You watch The Good Place, you know who it is. I like the choice of using The Good Place as the reference point here. And she's like, well, how many eyes does he have? She's like, 2? Oh, she's got 2 eyes. Just the 2.
Yeah.
But she sees a goat with 5 eyes. Well, she gets called into the manager's office at noon the next day. There's this ongoing thing about her bringing him biscuits that he likes so much, but
shortbread
biscuits, yeah. David has a vision in the meantime of a black angel / saint. We're not sure if it's an angel or a saint.
holding a lamb.
And
he's very confused now.
This will cause him some trouble. And he's talking with Andrea about this. This is a good conversation. Again, I wish they touch on these things, and you don't want to beat people over the head with stuff, but I also feel like I just wanted more of the implications here, because David has this realization, and he's talking to Andrea about, like, I have seen my whole life, I see angels as white and demons as black, but why do I see that? It's because I grew up with this iconography from white artists and whatever. So does this mean my visions, where I see these white angels and black demons, that's if they can be culturally influenced by the material I was raised looking at, then are they even real? They're just my mind, externalizing these cultural influences.
Yeah.
And she doesn't see it as a race issue, and he's like, yeah, because you're white. Yeah, because to you, yes, it's normalized, and you're not if we woke up tomorrow and all of a sudden all the angels were black and all the demons were white, you'd be like, hey, that's weird.
Yeah.
All the demons white.
Yeah.
But it's not quite clicking with her. And David is having a lot of doubts about his own visions now, which he has been anyway.
Yes.
This is where we get the girls. We go back to Kristen at home. The girls are freaking out. Lynn has had a nightmare about Andy. So they try to call Andy to kind of assuage the girls, but the connection's a mess. So they go outside, and they start yelling at the train. And the message that Kristen wants to impart is that you're stronger than anything that can threaten you. I'm like, that's not true. But that's not true. That's a lie, Kristen.
But, you should
teach your children wisdom, too. And the wisdom to know when something is stronger than you. I know she wants to send them a good message, but...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in a few years, they're going to have that message in their head, and they're going to run up against something that is stronger than them, and they're going to be like, Mom lied. Cheryl is in the manager's office. She has to scratch his back. At least he's got a back.
With a bone. His back scratcher is a bone.
Okay, but at least it's not her bare hand.
It's a bone, though, that he just, put in his mouth, ate the meat, and, sucked out the bone clean and hands it to her and says, that's a back scratcher. Scratch my back. What the heck?
I guess I'm going back to this woman who has these weird dolls and has a head. Well, she had until recently a head in a jar. It's also like, ew, this is a little too gross for me. Who's getting weird blood transfusions from who knows what?
Yeah, she's odd too, but still, the bone just came out of his mouth. It's not a back scratcher.
Anyway.
I just couldn't.
It was pretty funny.
It was funny, but I was just the whole time, I'm like, wash your hands.
Yes, definitely wash your hands. She gets called. He tells her to come back tomorrow with more of that shortbread, and then he smacks her on the ass.
It was hilarious.
She's like, But she does get her promotion now.
Yeah, so she does. She gets promoted to the manager of misinformation.
Yes. She's kind of telling Leland. Leland's kind of still smug about the whole thing.
Yes.
But she's like, hey, How many eyes does he have? Leland's like, 5 eyes.
Yeah, he's like, welcome to the ranks.
Yeah,
because you see him as the demon too.
Okay, because she's asking him. I think it's so funny because she asked him, like, am I having a psychotic break? Again. Everything you've seen, this is the thing that makes
This is the thing that's going to break you now?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of shit are they putting in that infusion they're giving you that's going into your body? And this is the thing that's going to break you?
And this is the point at which you get concerned?
Nah.
Yeah. Not when they were eating somebody.
Or giving you a head in a jar. Like, what the hell?
Anyway. Okay. Kurt, they got Kristen. Okay, they're bringing the survivors in to get hypnotized. They're all saying that the angel is white. Or not the angel, the saint. Whatever,
Yeah.
the woman that with the lamb was white.
Yeah.
And they have this woman that was on the phone. They don't trust her.
Right.
There's something off about her
Yes.
story. Part of the problem is she had said that this person had spoken in a foreign language, and now she's not speaking in a foreign language.
She said, David, don't trust your sister.
David, yeah. And he's like, I don't have
A sister, so they think maybe it's Sister Andrea.
Maybe it's Sister Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah. His sister Andrea. And he's like, I don't know about all that. And then we find out that this woman
is not a survivor at all.
She's not a survivor at all. She wasn't even in the building.
She slipped in.
She slipped in to merge with the other survivors. They're thinking like this is some type of Munchausen syndrome.
Yeah.
So they start grilling her about the holes in her story. Comes back to, we didn't see any of this research taking place, but they come back to, you used to work as a receptionist for a psychiatrist named Leland Townsend.
Yeah.
Okay, I do like this because she's like, okay, yeah, she doesn't even bother to deny it.
No, she doesn't.
She's like, hey, have you ever noticed like everybody's angrier and people are just hitting each other on airplanes? And do you ever wonder what all that means? And she's like, it means that your team is losing. And that doom you feel is justified.
Yeah.
I mean, she's laying out the truth here. You can't actually argue with her.
Yeah, you can't.
It makes David sad though, because David's kind of like, oh shit, yeah, that's probably what it does mean. Like, and after he had seen the map and knows that despite his best efforts, they missed this one big house that's now going strong because they didn't get that med student,
Yeah.
But anyway, they go to the Monsignor. He's very disappointed about this news about Jessica. And they're like, well, okay, but that was just one person. All these other people saw this. And he's like, well, but one person now, it's going to taint everything. I'm like, is it?
Yeah. And David's like, the others weren't lying. He's like, why is the church so afraid of a black angel?
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out. We do find out eventually what the issue is going to be. They do touch on it a lot about what the issue is. David he'll make good hay while the sun is shining on this issue. So basically, Monsignor's like, time to move on. We got a possessed girl eating glass. Like, okay.
Let her eat.
And Andrea's hearing David himself now. David points the finger at Leland, which he should, but he says himself, I see demons too. There's one sitting right next to Leland Townsend right now. He hitches himself to Andrea's wagon here. He's like, everything she's seen, I've seen.
Yes.
So you're going to make her resign. You're going to have to make me resign. You're going to have to make one of 3 African-American priests ordained this year resign.
Leland gets really mad and gets up and leaves.
Leland's
He knows he's lost at this point. He knows it's over.
He's like, he kind of laughs. He's like, okay, all right, I'm out. I guess we're done. But Andrea tells him afterwards they're alone, and she's like, well, you got to go confession now because
You lied.
you lied. He's like, yeah. He does have doubts.
Yeah, and she does tell him that you don't see the world the way I do.
Right. But and this is her here admitting that she was wrong in her approach to his concerns about, like, why do I see the angels as white and the demons as black, and what it meant to him.
Yep.
And that's her here saying, like, we don't see the world the same way from the same perspective. But that doesn't mean anybody's wrong, which is,
And she assures him, she's like, your visions are from God.
Yeah.
And he changed them, not you. He changed them. And then, you know, we see David get up and go. He's got to go to confession because
he lied.
Jump right in. So he does go to confession. But then as the door closes, we see Sister Andrea kind of looking up, and there's a demon in her room.
There's always a demon in her room.
Does she get any kind of sleep without demons?
I don't think she does. She's constant demons in her room.
Poor woman.
I really, she needs to get some credit for this map. She's probably wiped out 100 demons by herself.
Probably. They can use her to help.
They could, but
she could be a friend of the Vatican.
She could be a friend of the Vatican. Well, I know in the last season she'll have it'll get wild, but
yeah.
A good episode again. I crave some consistency. So
yeah.
I crave a better flow or something. I think like I said, they touch on race and liberation theology and other issues like that throughout the series. I don't know what I want from it. I mean, I just feel like there's something there that's not there that I wanted more from when we were going to have these discussions. Though I think the framing of the discussion is really good.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked it. I liked the episode because it does. I like the fact that they're touching on stuff that's not talked about a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's just the crazy Munchausen woman. That's crazy. All she wants is attention when there are people that are dead from that accident.
I don't know what her what she was getting out of it because.
Yeah, I don't either. Except for I think she was a spy for Leland.
Well, she was a spy for Leland. Yeah,
but
I know. Yeah, I answered my own question. She knew that her false testimony would taint everything.
Yeah.
So that's one less saint in the world.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good episode. I liked it. I like that David stands up for himself.
Yeah, and I like that, he was willing to... I like what he did for Sister Andrea. He knew that they were not going to tell him to resign.
Yeah, no way. I mean, he's one of 3 that were ordained in a year. Like, they got a problem there.
But he knows now that he's made himself a thorn in their side, and, So, but I do respect that move from David.
Yeah.
We'll have, we get into this next one, and we'll have a lot going on in the next one, too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about this one?
No. I'm all good.
Okay. All right, then. So that's it. Next week, of course, we'll be talking about episode 6. Until then, check out our other podcast, Deconstructing the Dark Pastor, the podcast about all things Dexter. We'll be talking about some of our favorite Dexter villains in the run-up to the second season of Resurrection. Also check out Outside Food and Drink, which is our podcast about movies. We got a Shark Month and a whole other almost full year of movies that in our back catalog that you can listen to. Plenty to listen to on both fronts. We got 6 seasons of Dexter in the can at this point. So, and of course, this we have the first 2 seasons of this show that you can listen to. And you can also, we'd love to have you reach out on, follow us on socials, or reach out, drop us a line. What are your views about how we decide who gets to be a saint, and whether or not it's blasphemy to tell the truth? And drop us a line, give us a follow. And until next week, we talk about episode 6.
Later.
Later.